I've been playing a lot of the final Eclipse. Too much. And for a long time, I was of the assumption that there wasn't a whole lot of lore or story present within the game mode. The journal logs that you can unlock within it, while interesting, never really contributed much to the overall story in my opinion. Only after hours and hours of replaying through the final Eclipse and typing out new journal entries for the wiki have I finally come up with a theory I believe makes a little bit of sense. I don't know how to write an intro, so we're going right into it. First things first, let's just get this out of the way. The final Eclipse is a simulation. Yep, sorry to break it to you. There's just so much evidence pointing to this being the case, it's not up for debate. Booting up a computer every time you open the game, the scan lines in the lobby, the lunar trader being right next to a guy literally in a VR headset, and a journal log right next to the lunar trader talking about some sort of simulation. I mean, come on. Like most of the lore, a lot of my evidence is going to be stemming from journal logs, specifically the journal log titled Don't Touch the Brick. They all keep lining up for the brick, laughing, betting credits, bragging about high scores. Flatline in the sim? You pop back sweaty and grinning, hungry for one more round. That no real risk line is the real trap. First time felt like lightning in my veins. Third time the headache started. Now my thoughts skip like a scratched tape. I tore an old visor apart, neural firmware everywhere, safeguards all ripped out. The brick won't stay powered unless a live mind is jacked in, so they hand it to us. We're the batteries while they dissect the sim. No wonder they're giving the tech away. Tonight I heard Wick on a long-range set whispering to some ghost on the airwaves. Yeah, progress looks solid, code's cracking clean, keep the feed rolling. I think I heard the name Vandal. Has a thick Russian accent. Never shows his face, just static in orders. If you find this, smash the brick or walk away. They get the numbers, and we trade brain cells for bragging rights. So, what does this log tell us? Well, we are given an actual name for the simulation that is running within the metro tunnels. I have two possible theories as to why it's called the brick. Calling it the brick could just be a reference to the fact that a VR headset looks like a brick strapped to a person's face. Or, the one I personally believe, whatever program this device is running is quite literally bricked. Before the internet ruined the term bricked, it used to refer to a piece of technology that had become severely damaged or unusable due to damaged hardware or a virus. Now keep this all in mind, I'm gonna go off on a brief side tangent, but I promise it's relevant. We know that operators can be both real people and complete robots, seeing as the operator NPCs bleed, and the fact that the scrap operator, a purely mechanical piece of operator tech, exists. And in the description of all contraband armor, they all state that when the full set is worn, the armor biometrically locks to the wearer and cannot be removed. So, obviously, you'd probably need to be a pretty high-ranking, well-trained Sting soldier to have the privilege of being promoted to operator. And in the Word of Advice journal log, we can see one Sting soldier advising another to not sign some sort of contract. You don't want this. Whatever you're trying to prove isn't worth losing your body and mind. Please, don't sign that contract. Finish your tour of duty here and take the transfer. I did. I'm heading out with the convoy to the Canal District tomorrow. From there, there's a ship leaving for the outer wards in 2 days. I can get you a spot. No Sting directives, no caskets, just a clean assignment where you're still yourself. You still have a choice. Don't trade your life for a metal husk. This necropolis is no place to die. I believe that whatever contract the recipient of this letter was about to sign was the contract that would have promoted them to the operator rank, meaning they would have to be biometrically locked to the armor, trading their life for a metal husk. Are you picking up what I'm putting down here? Now, let's put this all together. What exactly is the brick? Well, whenever you boot up the final Eclipse, it'll play a little animation of a PC booting up with writing at the bottom of the screen stating that we're likely running the operator program. This right here is what the final Eclipse is. A simulation created to prepare and train Sting soldiers on how to use their respective armor sets. And it's likely that this simulation has some effects on your brain, so it's certainly possible that Sting is indulging in a bit of brainwashing while training their new super soldiers. This is what the Word of Advice meant by losing your body and mind. You are instilled with whatever Sting propaganda they want to blast into your noggin, and you lose your body by being locked into a metal casket, becoming another weapon of war. But why would some lowly scrappers be so interested in a Sting simulation? Well, I believe that the environment within the brick is a literal snapshot of the entire canal district. Maybe. I'm still not 100% sure, honestly. What I am sure of, though, is that there is something within the code of the operator program that these scrappers need. What this thing is, though, we don't know. And maybe the scrappers don't even know either. But I think the journal logs that can be found around the map point to the operator program being a literal snapshot of the canal district. A majority of the found journal logs are all total nothing burgers, with not a whole lot of important information. All except for one. Project Blade Dancer details the conception of the Blade Dancer armor set after observing Flare Nightbounds in an attempt to replicate their teleportation abilities. This, or other pieces of information like this, are what the scrappers are trying to find. If the scrappers are able to find more documents like Project Blade Dancer within the operator program, they would be able to reverse engineer Sting's reverse engineering of the Flare Nightbound and create their own contraband armor, and finally stand up against Sting. Is most of the info within the operator program useless? Yeah, probably. But it's that 1%, that sliver of information, that will make it all worth it. There is something hidden within the code of the brick, something important enough that the scrappers are willing to let anybody act as their batteries while they look through the sim for it. Let's do a quick recap of everything we've talked about. The Lunar Trader and the Scrappers have a bootleg or corrupted version of the training simulation Sting uses to prepare their top soldiers for their contraband armor, and are searching through its code in search of valuable info on Sting. If the Scrappers can get more information about Sting tech like Project Blade Dancer, they could then create their own contraband armor to fight back against Sting. We already know the Scrappers are capable of meddling with Sting tech and having it work. The Scrap Operator is a prime example of that. Okay, that's it. Let me know what you all think about this theory in the comments, and feel free to share your own thoughts too. Seriously. If you want to learn more about the story of Blackout, watch my Story Explained video. The info in that video is a lot more concrete and certain. Okay, bye.